Hey friends, Catherine here. I wanted to sculpt a pendant for you using fall flowers and colors. I've got these wound up colors from a mug I sculpted the other day. I encourage you to watch that video. It ended up being a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of work. And I've got them left over and they're all coiled up and rolled out. So I thought I would use them to make a flower pendant since that's the perfect setup for it. For this one, I'm going to be using a black background. So I've got a bit of black here that I've just been warming in my hands, and I am trying to get it into relatively round shape, from which point I can hopefully sort of just crush it flat and maybe roll around the edges a little bit just to try and round it up a little, and maybe pinch the edges down a little bit to try and thin them out a little. You know, just generally finessing the shape until it is something that I'm happy with, about the size that I want, about the width that I want, about the shape that I want. And once I found the shape that I like, I am going to take and punch a hole in one side, and that's going to become the top. That will become the top because that will be where we will be hanging the pendant from, because we do want it to end up being a pendant. It pushes a little bit of clay through, and I'm going to just pull that up to the top side just to reinforce that top edge, because I don't want it breaking out once I've run a loop through it and hung it on a chain. Now we get to the fun part, the sculpting. Let's go. Let's see, let's start off with a bit of red, I think. I'll just take and slice off a little bit with the edge of a toothpick and roll it in my fingers, and then set it on the toothpick and press it into the black clay. And do the same thing over again. Trying to make it about the same amount of red, trying to roll it fairly evenly, press the toothpick into it, and then press it into the clay. It's going to be like that the rest of the way. This is a fairly straightforward process. Let's actually bring you in a little bit closer on this. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Let me bring you a little bit closer. There we go. That should give you a better view. I'm going to just keep doing the same thing again. Picking up some red, rolling it up, setting it on the edge of our toothpick, and pressing it in. We are creating a flower, hopefully. It should, if everything goes well, look like a flower anyway. We are leaving a space in the center. Come on, you. There we go. We're leaving a space in the center because these are going to be the outer petals that the flower runs around. I'm going to do a multi-layered petal situation on this flower, hopefully, if everything works out. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Just like this. There we go. The same thing, just keep on rolling. There we go. All right. That's the outer layer of petals of red. So we will put our red aside for the moment anyway, and decide what color we want for the inner petals. I am thinking either orange or a darker red. Maybe a white? No, I don't think so with the white. We'll save the white for a moment. Let's go with the orange. Go. I think that will be set off nicely against the red. Although actually, no. Let's go with the darker red. I've got this like really dark red over here that I really like, and that's too big of a piece. So we'll just take some of it off and try again. There we go, that's a better size. And then I will just press that in a ring in the center, hopefully somewhat between the brighter red petals. Go, trying to make them a little bit smaller than the brighter red ones so that they don't eclipse them too much. And then just working my way around, hopefully. There we go. A little bit more. All right. So, while I'm working on this, would you like to hear a joke? It's a really bad joke, so I don't know if you want to hear it, but we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. Nobody's told me yet that they don't want to hear my terrible jokes, so there is that. What kind of room do horses stay in when they go on their honeymoon? The bridal suite. I know, it was awful. It was just that good. What can I say? It was just that good. All right, let's see. Think maybe 2 more, maybe 3 more. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. Okay. If I make it a really small one, I should be able to fit 1 more in there. And I think it needs it with that space. So let's just see if we can't pop it in. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, we need to decide, do we want a 3rd layer of petals, or do we want to finish it off with a center? I think we want to finish it off with the center. So let's push that darker red out of the way and pull over a bit of white. For this white one, we're going to take just the tiniest amount of white possible, roll it into the tiniest bead, and drop it right in the center, hopefully. And then do the same thing some more. We will do lots of little itty bitty white beads, hopefully. Or at least 3 anyway. Go, just place it right there. There we go. All right, I actually think 3 is the perfect number. Now, what do we want? We want to do some spirals from the outside, and I think we also want to do those in white. So let's take just a short piece of white, and let's do a second one of the same length just to make sure that we can get two pieces of the same length. If we cut them both at the same time, we'll be able to measure them against each other. And then we will take one of them and roll it out as fine as we can make it and see how far that gets us. This is going to be too long, I'm thinking, or at least longer than we need. That's all right. It'll give us something to work with. Okay, so we'll set that one aside and roll the other one out. Also, as thin as we can make it. Go. Just absolutely the thinnest thing that exists. Okay, something like that. Now, what we will do is we will take and we will cut off like that much. And then we will match it to the other one and make them both the same-ish length. Okay, now we'll take one of these, nope, just one of them, and gently, as we can, pick it up and tuck it underneath the edge of our flower and bring it out and around and up and into a curl, hopefully. Something sort of like a curl. There we go. Curl right there. Now, same thing for the other side. Pick it up, tuck it underneath, hopefully sort of kind of like that. Right there, bring it outward to the side and up and around in something similar to a curl, maybe, if we can figure out a curl. This one's ending up a little less round than the other one was, and that's all right. Not ideal, but that's something we can work with. We just nudge it into shape. Hopefully it will even lie down the way that we want it to. Probably not, but hopefully. Just keep messing with it until it does. Let go, and then bring this edge out a little bit more so that it's a little bit more round, and there we have it. Two curls opposing each other. Perfect. Turn it back around and have a look. Pretty all right. Pretty good. Let's pick back up that white, the extra tiny bit of white that we pulled off to the side, and set it away. And now it's time for our orange. And that bit of orange is about twice as big as we want it to be. So we want itty bitty, just tiny pieces of orange. Maybe even half that size. There we go. Something like that. Just itty bitty pieces of orange, because we're going to do tiny leaves along these vines. So we'll just take and place a leaf. And then roll another one out. And place it. There we go. And then cut that remaining orange piece in half and set it on the toothpick and place it as well. There we go. Now I've got 3 orange leaves on one side, and now just to do the same number of orange leaves for the other side, and we will be set. Okay. Go. That's something like an orange leaf, and we can place it, hopefully we can place it right there. And then pick up another one and place it a bit up the vine. And then pick up our last one and place it just a little bit up further. Perfect. Now, we want not even fully formed leaves the rest of the way, just tiny orange dots. So as small as I can make them, I'm going to make little dots, form just itty bitty dots, and place them further up that vine. There we go. Do the same thing for the opposite side. There we have it. There we go. Hopefully, if it will stick on. There we go. And last one. And that is a floral pendant in fall colors with red and orange and a couple of vines. Now we could further add like some white dots around the outside of the vines or some further leaves or do further embellishments, but I kind of think in this case less is more. So this is where I'm going to stop. Go. If you like this, definitely let me know. I am always happy to hear from you. And I put up new videos every day, so there's always something new to see. I encourage you to take a look and see anything that I'm trying it on any day of the week. And I will see you all another time. Bye. Oh, remember to subscribe.